it's the answer to everything that people need, all their problems, everything. If everybody followed it, this would be a better world. Well, now and there are several religions many religions which say that. There is Judaism, which is predicated on, they say, the Bible. There's Christianity, which is predicated on the Bible. And to a large degree, Islam is predicated on, because they took the Old and New Testament and then put some other material that Prophet Muhammad put in and developed the Quran. Now, each one of these folk are saying, and you have in the Christian religion alone some 580 some different denominations, most of which say that theirs is the unadulterated truth, the only truth, and that the only way you can know God is to know them, and all have the interpretations of what is written in this book. So today it is not my objective to attack anybody's religious belief, and I'm not even approaching it from the point of religion. We're looking at this now as scientists, as from a historical point of view, from the aspect of historical reality. That is what we're dealing with when we're talking about amazing black facts of the Bible today. Now, there are several things here that I want to go. One of the reasons why I raised that is when we were doing one of these classes, a sister said to me, and I thought it was a very good question. She said, "What's the big deal about the Bible?" I thought that was a very good question, because the way it's been projected to us is that's the only possible way that you can get any spiritual knowledge, any knowledge about God. And so some people think it's the only book worth reading. You don't need to read anything else. I remember I was doing a radio interview in Durham, North Carolina, and a sister called up and said, a good elder, and I appreciate it. I understood where she was coming from. She said, "Look, y'all need to get rid of all that history and all that African stuff and just deal with the Bible. And when you deal with that, just deal with the New Testament." I said, "Now, my sister, what kind of work do you do?" She was a registered nurse. I said, "Now, when you went to study to be a registered nurse, did you have to read any other book other than the Bible to learn how to do that?" She said, "Yes." I said, "What did you have to read?" "Well, I had to read text on nursing. I had to learn the language and the nomenclature of this and the different medicines to dispense and how to give the needles and everything." I said, "Did you learn that from the Bible?" When a man comes to fix your television in your house, does he go to the Bible to get instruction to fix that TV? Where does he go to get instruction? So obviously you need to read something else besides the Bible just to make a living. Just the basic things of making a living. To fix your faucet, you need some knowledge that is not found in the Bible. Because if everything you need to know was found in the Bible, then you'd be able to fix everything, you'd be able to do everything you need to do. So that's not a sound argument. Also, we have to come to understand that the Bible is just one of, and we'll be studying that as we go on in this session, is just one of the many books that people consider to be sacred. Therefore, no one has the right to say to another people who has set aside a body of literature and said it was sacred that it is not, because it's not their literature. We don't have that's sheer arrogance. All right, I want you to understand that there are more ways of coming to an understanding of spiritual principles than the Bible itself. I have to establish that at the risk of Christians and other folk wanting to attack me on that. We're going to seek to, let's say, imagine we're in a court of law here. As we seek to cover 42 at least of the 60 documents, let me make sure everybody has a copy here of the documents. You pass that back to them, please. Everybody has a copy. And, oh, you have a copy? Very good. As we seek to cover at least 42 of those 60, these are some of the things we want to make clear. This is the case I'm trying to present. We will attempt to prove and answer the question, who wrote the Bible, first of all? Who wrote it? Some people believe it came down from God out of heaven, and that therefore it is infallible. Everything it is absolutely correct, and you cannot find any wrong in it, and there's no mistakes. It came from God. Other people will tell you, no, it was written by a man. Who did write it? What is the Bible, first of all? That doesn't seem to be very clear to people. Where was it originally written? Some folks seem to think it was written in Hollywood, but that's not. When was it originally written? Some folks seem to think it was done just the other day or every Sunday in the pulpit. What, according to historical documentation, or according to historical documentation, it is absolutely impossible that the white man created the Bible. Now that I'm sure we will prove beyond a doubt. But if I don't prove it, you don't have to agree with me. Why the Caucasian version of the Bible is so different from the original version of the Bible? There's a reason for that. And we've already discussed that the Bible is an ancient African history book. It is the history of a particular nation of people who were black people. The Israelites were black people originally before they were taken into captivity and mixed up like so many of us are mixed up. They were originally a jet black people who had come from the continent of Africa and settled in Palestine. We will be tracing that historically and documenting it. And then we will discuss the Bible as a textbook for understanding our history.